So we see Bitcoin had a down-sloping trend line. It came into this key support just below 25,000, upsloping trend line, flat top right here. We came up, we broke out. As we were coming down, I was short Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay, now Ethereum, if we know, and I went over this chart last time, look at this pivot point, look at what we hit. Right when we got there, I sent out the alert, the trade signal to exit your short, take profits right there on Ethereum because the chart alerted me to do that. I'm going to hold Bitcoin on the short side. By the way, we're in the money on that short from about 30, just under 30,000. And the idea was here is that we take some of the profits on the short off the table to kind of put those in our pocket.
The past few days have been highly favorable for Bitcoin investors and supporters of maximalism. While the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has been scrutinizing various entities other than Bitcoin, it seems that even BlackRock, the world's largest asset management firm with a whopping $10 trillion in assets under management, has shown interest in a Bitcoin spot ETF. Surprisingly, the SEC has previously denied such privileges to firms that have been applying for over a decade. Given BlackRock's close association with regulators, experts are confident that the ETF application will be approved. This development is expected to attract significant investments from institutional players, potentially impacting Bitcoin's price positively. As of now, Bitcoin's value has surged, reaching a 2-month high and surpassing the $30,000 mark. In the last 24 hours, it has experienced a gain of over 9% and a notable 16% increase over the past week. Furthermore, Bitcoin's dominance in the crypto market is at its highest level since April 2021, constituting over 50% of the overall market capitalization. Additionally, well-known technical analyst Gareth Soloway, previously bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, has now closed his short positions in anticipation of the next move in the crypto market. Soloway predicts that Bitcoin may revisit its previous high of $30,500 in the coming days. He has also expressed interest in other altcoins like Solana, Cardano, and Polygon, expecting significant price movements in the near term. While discussing the ongoing rally, Soloway suggests that BlackRock's ETF announcement is merely a gesture from the SEC to appease the crypto community after months of strict regulations. Moreover, he believes that the stock market's behavior may reveal more about the current crypto rally than BlackRock's ETF application alone.
We're going to get into some big stuff here. We're going to talk crypto, Bitcoin breaking out, altcoins starting to bounce. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the BlackRock ETF. I'm sure everyone's heard about it, but really, what's the key? Why is that helping so much? It's not the ETF, folks. That has little to no impact overall in the near term. It's a sentiment change, and that is going to be key. It's Gary Gensler, the SEC, giving the nod to BlackRock, in my opinion, to say, okay, throw the crypto community a bone. And just again, think about all the crackdowns they've done, the amount of money that people have lost on altcoins. And again, we know that Bitcoin's not a security. Gary Gensler, the SEC, has said that. So that means ultimately that they're throwing a bone to the crypto community, saying, all right, we'll give you guys this one. We'll do a spot ETF. Now, it hasn't been approved, so don't get me wrong. There's always a small chance that it doesn't get approved. But, you have BlackRock with, what, $11 trillion under management with ties to the U.S. government like this. You can't tell me that after everything that the SEC did a week or two ago, and then this news hits, you can't tell me that there's not some sort of collusion there between the SEC and BlackRock. BlackRock, you can't tell me, didn't go to the SEC and said, hey, we want to do this. Will you back us? Will you let this happen? In my opinion, they said, yes, we will let this happen. Now, if we go to the charts, getting right into the charts here, guys. So we see Bitcoin had a down-sloping trend line. It came into this key support just below 25,000, upsloping trend line, flat top right here. We came up, we broke out. Always try to pocket some profits. Then turn around and say, okay, if the crypto market continues to deteriorate, Bitcoin can likely come down more. Now, Bitcoin hasn't done that, so I'm looking on a retrace from this breakout to probably exit my short on Bitcoin. All right, so again, just going back to it, we have a clear breakout short term. Now, please understand, I am a short-term swing trader. This has nothing to do with my long or medium-term analysis. My medium-term analysis still says that Bitcoin is very vulnerable, especially as long as it doesn't get through this key 30,000 level, 30,500 level on the charts. Okay, so again, yes, it's a good little move short term. I do think we could retest 30,500, but as long as that doesn't break, Bitcoin remains extremely vulnerable and in a progressive bear market. All right, now again, the reason why I say that is not that the regulation clarity that is coming isn't going to be good for crypto or Bitcoin. That will be a good factor. What I'm more concerned about is the stock market and the stock market's de-risking impact whenever that comes to fruition on what is going to happen to the crypto markets. Because what we know is historically that Bitcoin continues to be a risk asset. All right, now again, it was clouded because of the regulatory unknowns. You're starting to get a little clarity with this BlackRock ETF, spot ETF filing. So this is the key. If you go to the SPX chart and we look at this chart, right? So again, amazing move to the upside. We're at short-term highs. In fact, the S&P 500 yesterday, or a couple days ago, this was last Friday, we were at around 4,445. That was the highest point going back to over a year ago. It was a 52-week high. Now, you might say, wow, that's amazing, but if we look at the equal weight, now this is where I kind of bring people back to reality, right? This is your equal weight S&P. Now, the reason why the equal weight is important to look at is because it shows us that if every stock was equal in the 500 S&P stocks, this is how the chart looks. Now, this is a big difference because, look, just going back to February, we were higher than the current levels on the equal weight. So what does this tell us? This tells us that there's been a group of stocks, all right, in the S&P 500, in the NASDAQ 100, about 10 stocks that have been carrying the market up because they're so massive. If the equal weight is showing us that this is not a healthy move, it's all sideways chop, yet the S&P or the NASDAQ 100 have made such enormous moves to the upside, then what do we have? Is that really a true picture of the economy? Right? Because if the economy is great, then every stock should be doing well.
According to Soloway, the stock market is sending a misleading signal to investors, creating a false sense of security about the strength of the economy. He believes that this misplaced confidence is also spilling into the cryptocurrency market. However, once the brakes are applied to equities, cryptocurrencies will likely experience significant price declines. The Federal Reserve's consistently hawkish stance on monetary policy, which may happen sooner than expected, adds to this concern. Fed Chair Jerome Powell's upcoming testimony before the House Financial Services Committee is anticipated to convey further warnings to investors regarding the central bank's hawkishness. During his Wednesday testimony, Powell reiterated the Fed's hawkish view, emphasizing that inflation remains uncontrolled. He stated that inflation pressures continue to run high, and the process of bringing inflation back down to the target of 2% still has a long way to go. Soloway anticipates that the Fed's relentless battle against inflation will eventually destabilize the economy and lead to a market crash. However, he is more optimistic in the short term and has invested in altcoins like Cardano, Solana, and Matic, which have shown gains of 7.16%, 4.3%, and 7.34% respectively in the past 24 hours. Returning to Soloway's analysis, he emphasizes the importance of Bitcoin in today's world of extensive money printing. He sees gold as a winning strategy for investors amid these circumstances.
Now, do I think there's a need in our economy for Bitcoin? Yes, I do. It drives me insane that the U.S. government can just print, dilute the hard-earned dollars that me and that every one of you make. And by the way, many people watching from all over the world, and you guys are in the same position. There's no central bank out there that hasn't printed money, at least not in the bigger economies. So, keep that in mind, and there is a use case for Bitcoin. And a lot of people will say, well, Bitcoin, what's the real value? All the value is saying, well, someone will pay more for it. But I'm like, and this, I was talking with Ben, my head trader, yesterday. We were talking about this, and it's the bottom line is every asset's like that. The only reason the dollar has value is because people believe that the U.S. government is firm, and therefore they believe that if they buy a dollar or they have a dollar, that it will hold its value. Well, guess what? It's not doing that. But look at gold. I mean, even gold. The only reason 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 years ago, people somehow said this metal is going to be the precious metal that we deem has value, right? It's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's a digital currency or it's gold or it's a stock. I mean, think about this. Why are people buying Tesla today? Why are people buying Nvidia today? Because they believe that it's going to go up and they can sell it to someone else higher. Same concept of why people believe in Bitcoin, which is why I think Bitcoin is a no-brainer future asset, much like gold. Now, do I think people are going to be going into Starbucks buying a cup of coffee with Bitcoin? No. I think it's the digital gold, and I think that's where it's going to be. I continue to be in the camp that we're still going lower on gold. Now, I was the biggest bull on gold, and I still am. That doesn't mean I don't think you're going to have small pullbacks, right? Think about that. Nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. So in terms of gold, we're down ticking again today. We're at 1926 on gold. I still have it pivot, which would be a classic retrace to the scene of the crime, right? Pivot high to pivot high. Look at that retrace. We broke out here. What would be a retrace? Well, let's go back to, let's do some education. Let's go back to Solana. All right, so Solana, this is just the inverse of it, right? Breakdown on Solana, retrace to the trend line that broke down. Well, if we go to gold, here's your breakout on gold, and this is your retrace. What you're seeing here, folks, is that it doesn't matter what asset it is. It's going to repeat because humans are trading gold. Humans are trading Solana. Humans are trading Apple. Humans are trading Tesla. Humans are trading, it's all the same, all right? As long as you have up to a certain amount of participants, right? I mean, you don't want to trade an asset that has 3 people trading it. That's not going to give you. If you have a liquid asset where you have a bunch of people trading it, the behavior, and this is why charts work, is going to be the same because people are fearful or they're greedy, all right? Or they're somewhere in between. And that same fear repeats in every asset class just like greed does. So with gold, check this out. So we have our target, which is just around 1,900 bucks. I love showing this too. If we do a Fibonacci retrace from the recent move up, what is right at that level? Look at this, 382 Fibonacci retrace, right at that level on gold. All right, so what that does to me is that says, okay, so gold a little bit more down, and then I start loading the boat again. And I think the bottom line is here is that as an investor, and what I want to convey to you guys is that, number one, you have to remain logical. You have to follow charts which help you remain logical because you can see when things go nuts to the upside, it's not the time to buy and FOMO in. It's probably the time to offload a little bit and become more conservative. Same thing on the downside. You start nibbling when things are down, AKA a week ago with the altcoins. Now, by the way, do I think the altcoins are going to ultimately go lower? Yes. Do I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go higher? Yes. But that doesn't mean you can't trade the panic. The panic is people panicking and exiting. There are opportunities there for being a trader. Now, again, a lot of you guys are not traders. In that case, stay the heck away. You want to find good quality assets that you have a longer term view on. That's what you want to do.
According to Gareth Soloway's analysis, the cryptocurrency market is poised for short-term upward movements, followed by substantial price declines once the stock market begins to correct its inflated gains and return to its true level. However, there are several other events that cryptocurrency investors can look forward to. These events include anticipated regulatory developments for the industry and next year's housing event, which are expected to significantly improve prices, potentially even leading to new all-time highs. I would like to hear your thoughts on Soloway's broadcast and the ongoing rally in the cryptocurrency market. Do you believe it will be short-lived, lasting only a few days, or do you anticipate it to continue for a much longer period? Please share your comments and observations in the comments section below. For more daily dose crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.